Welcome to our GTMA podcast. I'm joined today by Nick Skidmore. Nick is a director and co-owner of Fenton Precision Engineering and a member of the GTMA, and Nick is also represented on our board of directors. Firstly, hello Nick. I'd like to give you an opportunity to really provide an overview of what Fenton Precision Engineering is.
Okay, good. Hi, Alan. Good morning. Hope you're well. Here at Fenton, the company's been going for about 49 years now. We offer in-house design services, prototyping, mold tooling, press tools, and machining of metal alloys and other materials in-house. And we've also got a molding facility with around 28 molding machines in. So we tend to offer design support from concept stage right through to mass production. But we're a bit unique because all our services are in-house as opposed to being subcontracted. So as a company, we're predominantly tool makers and injection molders, around 105 staff in total over 2 sites, Market Harbour and Northampton.
Thank you. And as a UK manufacturer, you clearly feature in the supply chain into OEM and top tier companies, as well as supplying, I assume, consumer goods, and you utilize a supply chain. Maybe you could expand a little bit about what's gone on over the last 12 months. We're aware lots of global shocks and supply chain issues, and maybe you could explain how that affects a company like yours, which is positioned in that supply chain.
Yes. Yeah, it's quite simple. I think for anybody in any business, 2020, April time, COVID hits. That was sort of the catalyst of things to start snowballing. Are the companies going to survive, pull through? What happened with supply chain? And it's quite unique for, I think, not for Fenton, but it's what happened to us. We had big issues properly during March, and obviously with running the factories with COVID, obviously distancing, social distancing and everything else, health and safety, random audits. Because we supply to NHS and medical sector, we're allowed to work. So obviously all the staff had letters to go to work, and we ran pretty much as normal 24/5 continually through the summertime to around July time. From July, materials started to dry up. Polymers absolute almost became critical stages on cost availability globally. So for the next 12 months, my main job became purchasing, securing material, pulling in a lot of our contacts around the world, making sure we had material coming in, polyprop, nylon, acetyl, ABS, polycarb. And then we had to invest in colour doses for the machinery to convert those colours to what the customers wanted. At the same time, metal supplies started to become scarce on the metal supply chain. Aluminium prices went off the scale per kilogram or per tonne. And so availability on not just our materials, plastics, cardboard, metal, alloys, graphite, everything became hard to get hold of, and we're pushing costs up. We had to pass our costs on to our customers because we can't absorb, some cases 300% increases during 2020, 2021. Things calmed down on the material side slightly, probably about 2022, 23 to some sort of normality, but prices are still incredibly high and becoming almost static at that level. And then obviously energy prices, energy prices for us increases of £300,000 a year on power, obviously feeding machines with heat, machines with motors and dryers and everything else in the 2 factories, crippling costs. You're talking bills of £220,000 becoming £550,000 on top of the raw material increases, steel increases. The whole market shifted from a sort of a price point of view. We had the luxury, and probably we're quite unfortunate during COVID, everyone started to have their mold tools serviced and repaired. And because we offer those services internally as well, we found that we became very, very busy. And actually we had to invest then in, I think, 2 CNC machines, VMCs, which are dew guards, and a wire eroder to keep up with demand. And we're finding the older machines are obviously wearing out. So as a business, we probably invested more during COVID than any other year. to pull through, and as the market adjusts, changes, we adjusted to suit the market, really.
Thank you. You touched upon the subject of energy. It's clearly an ongoing issue for all of industry.
Yes.
But off the back of that is the imperative for manufacturers to move towards net zero and to identify their carbon footprint. How are you seeing that affect your business? And also, we'd be very interested to know how you are helping your upstream clients in terms of identifying their entire supply chain and carbon usage.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more companies now are looking at new tools, hot runners, to eliminate plastic sprues, which is waste material for landfill or reprocessing. Some companies have switched to repro grades of ABS as part of their carbon neutral plans for their products that they sell globally. Coupled with basically energy efficient machines, molding machines draw a lot of power. So obviously we're investing in new machines that use less power to cope with the bills and try and suppress our electric bills as well. And the machines are new efficient. We've investigated solar panels as a business as well. There's quite a high financial burden to have those installed. The payback potentially is 3 to 5 years, but we need a lot of solar panels to run molding machines, and I think about 30% of the power will come back to us. We can never have enough solar energy to run 20, 30 molding machines, and obviously all machinery as well. So we're finding that companies looking to try and remove plastic bags out of packaging, returnable packaging as well in plastic KLTs or containers. And generally, we're trying every way we can to try and help our customers and ourselves with being more efficient and carbon neutral. But it's all down to investment. You can't just do it for nothing. And
sure.
Also priorities on what we invest our money in machinery, technology, staff, buildings, maintenance. It's a constant stream of costs. Labour costs now increasing in April. It's continual. It's like be on the treadmill. Doesn't seem to want to stop. And
well, a lot of people may see tool making and molding as traditional industries, certainly a staple in the UK and first world countries. However, how do you see modern technology affecting what you do and implementation of maybe new techniques or new technologies to increase the range of products you produce, or maybe even to vary your workload? What do you recognize in these new technologies, and what are you using?
That's a very good question. We're seeing AI coming through on certain types of engineering skills now, and methods of making things, software packages, AI coming through, 3D printing, metal printing. There's a big skill and age gap. We have tool makers from 20 years old into their late 60s, early 70s. And there's a gap now coming through of younger people coming through the tool making. And as people retire, we had 2 retirements last year. We're not finding that maybe the youngsters want to go into engineering or into tool making. Some do, some don't. But I think the way machines are going with 5-axis machinery, additive manufacturing, our biggest threat long term now is probably metal 3D printed tools and components. Years ago, the steel was very, very porous, low quality from additive manufacturing. Now you'd have a job to tell an additive machine component to say a traditionally turn or ground or machine part made from solid steel or stainless. So that is very, very advanced, and I think that will fill the time to make things. Less labour, less tool makers. Machinery is getting quite advanced as well. We're looking to invest in an 80,000 RPM. It's like a turbo boost spindle motor for our VMC milling machines to reduce the amount of sparking work we have to do afterwards. But again, these things are big investments for companies. So we're about to, I think, trial one shortly to try and be more efficient and make the tooling quickly, repairs quicker with investment. I think everyone's in the same boat, coupled with labour shortages in tool rooms and and generally you're up against it all around.
Sure, sure. On the subject of sustainability, those outside engineering and manufacturing may see sustainability in a slightly different way, but really within the engineering and manufacturing arena, it's all about sustaining your business and improving the use of recycling of materials. Are you having to demonstrate your sustainability credentials to win work, to retain work? Customers or new
We do in
customers?
certain cases. I mean, we have launched a range of our own products recently, which we use our own recycled material, which is good for our business to push the green side of it for Fentons. But yeah, it's a tricky one. It's I think some of the ISO policies now, if you have it, it does help your business as well to secure more work. But at the moment, it's probably coming through on a smaller scale.
Okay, and what's coming over the hill, Nick? What are people likely to see with your business and businesses like yours in terms of your offering in the marketplace?
Oh, yeah, another good question. I think it's about investment. We have a basic 3D printer in house. We offer design services, mold flows, tooling, machinery, and also assembly work. So we try and push that. As you know, we got industrial sewing machines on site for sewing. We have some soldering stations. We have pad printers, sonic welders, pressure testing. So we try and contain everything in house and push that as an investment. So the more subcontractors you use, the less control you have on your processes. So we try and invest in that all in house, and we can really offer our services under one roof. That is key, as opposed to subcontracting out tooling or printing or sonic welding or sewing. Even we tend to do it all in house.
Okay, well, thank you for a very informative chat. I'm sure people will find this very, very interesting and maybe follow up afterwards. Final word to you, Nick. If you wanted to give someone a takeaway, what should they take away from this podcast?
I think podcasts and marketing online, all the social media platforms now is the way forward. We're seeing lots of our customers have the normal, I would mention names, but brands of apps they use now for posting their businesses. And I think the ones who don't get on board with that are going to fall behind. We revamped our website, SEO, with a company in Bath in the UK, and it's paid dividends. I think 80% of our new inquiries are coming now from Google Ads. And yeah, as opposed to the old door knocking approach, cold calling, I think is probably on its way out now. And I think in a few years' time, it's going to be a completely different market change, and AI as well coming through, doing various parts of the role for you as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time today, Nick, and thank you for your openness. I'm sure people will find it useful.
Good. I hope so.
Thank you.
Alan, cheers. Thank you.